Alrighty folks, welcome back to Abdec. Last time we might have had a breakthrough, although it wasn't 100% confirmed, so I guess that's probably what today's job is. So the idea is, the terrifying, horrendous idea is, and I've also had some other thoughts about the last puzzle I was trying last time, so I'll get to those soon. So the idea is that we can rotate the shapes. Now, I had this whole thing about like, how can I rotate them? Like, what are the rules around that? Well, I think I'm coming to, like, I think my final, like, what I'm coming to here is that it probably has to be aligned with the points, the vertices here, right? Because that works really nicely for that. And like in theory, well, no, in theory you couldn't. Well, you might notice I've also cleaned this plastic sheet. It's going to get dirty again very quickly, but I've already smudged it. Now here, there's not really any other way of doing it. So that one's fine. That one's, I'm almost certain that is what that is trying to teach me. And I got there due to the fact that it was like a symmetrical thing. Oh, I don't have the word high on here anymore. Can't be having that. And then here, we got there because, well, these need to be covered, and so that has to be the A's. That needs to be covered, and we need to leave space for the C. Now, I guess, okay, here's a reason why it can't be non-vertices, is because then we could do the C. Yeah, we could do a C like here. It's going to have to be diagonal and touching the vertices. I think that's the rule. However, it's kind of a little bit weird because that's never been fully. I mean, I guess like possibly like lots of the other earlier puzzles, but it'd be nice if like that was somehow communicated in an earlier thing. I feel like most of the earlier puzzles were constrained just because all the things you had to cover were like at the edges, and so you had to do orthogonal things. Were there ever any cases where, and also because you've got to cover. Like before we had scaling, you've got to cover an entire square. But then I guess that's never explicit as well. It's like, what does it mean to cover something? In fact, I guess we were never even told to cover stuff. That was just a rule I had to determine myself. So I feel like I'm sort of having to make a few like additional assumptions about what the rules are. I'm not sure if I don't have those assumptions, does it break everything down? Well, yes, it does here, right? Like if I were to break down the idea that I don't have to be aligned with the vertices of the grid, then in theory, there's multiple answers to this puzzle. Obviously, this I'm assuming I'm correct with my new rule. But if we're allowing vertices, then this counts. But the other one doesn't, right? And the previous puzzle is definitely guiding me towards doing 45-degree diagonals. And then this one also works really well when we do that. So I'm pretty confident about the rule, but that affects what I would do on the one after this. Is it after this? No, it's the one after this. So this one again. So vertices to vertices. This one's going to be an extra big one, right? It's going to be like this to there, to there, to there. Yeah, and the shape of that just makes that work out, right? Yeah, it feels okay. Everything up to now is feeling right. Let's hone in on that. We're honing in on the idea that it has to be vertex aligned. And I'm pretty sure it was for this one as well. Let's double check though. And then once I've done this one and feel confident about it, because I did some non-vertex aligned things on that one, but I still think it might be possible to do. Look how smushed this looks now. It looks worse. No, let's just smudge the whole thing and then whatever. Yeah, so I do have the plastic on. Good. I like how I was just cleaning it and then completely forgot that it was there within the next second. So yeah, this B has to come down, that C has to go there. And then it's about how can we align the A's on here. And what do they end up doing? So vertex aligned. Well, if you've got to be covered, and we're certainly not doing bigger A's, so it's going to have to be this. We can like tell a bunch of things, then that has to be there, that has to be there. And if this has to be covered, then this is going to have to be there. This is going to have to be there. And, oh, wait, this isn't quite right, is it? What have I done wrong here? Wait, unless this still can be... Well, no, it can't go there. Wait, how do I cover that one? I must be doing this one wrong slightly. But how? I'm not sure. I think I got it last time, right? So covering that one, I guess I don't have to go that way. I could go the other way over this dot. So that would be like this. That might be it. Yeah, that's it, I think. Down here. Now that has to be there. That has to be there. And that has to be there. Yeah, and that's 2 A's. Okay. Those feel good. I'm almost certain this is the rule. Okay, going back and doing them like that and just like purely focusing on the vertices. I think like going through them before, I had this overwhelming feeling of like, but aren't there like, if I can just like draw them anyway, isn't that's terrifying? And I could potentially draw anything. Okay, so back to this one. I'm still pretty certain that this B must be connected to that. Should I double check that? Again, connected to vertices. Like, otherwise that becomes the C. So I'm almost certain it's like that. Okay. So if that's the case, then there's going to be a C shape around the C that is not touching this. So I had a bunch of problems. My solution I drafted out on here, I had a bunch of problems. Like the C was actually touching the D shape over here, so it was that would have broken the C. And it also had the like I had a thing over here where I had like the E shape. And the other thing that made me realize like, oh, presumably it does have to be vertex aligned, is because in theory I could have shifted that E shape up by like, oh no, but then it wouldn't cover that. Okay, so now I'm not certain of that, but I'm still okay. I'm going to focus on vertices. Focus on vertices. I just want to end up feeling confident that's the rule. That's all I need. I can't believe this set of like 4 puzzles or whatever, 5 puzzles, has been hours and hours of solving this book. Okay, and so the question then becomes like, how do you grab this one? And again, it can't be done with the C, it can't be done with the D, so it's going to be the E. And like almost certainly this is right. And then it's just a case of like figuring out where the C goes. I think that's the bit that I was messing up, and maybe just some small adjustment would make it work. Because this is great, like this fits perfectly. And we should believe that that's probably going to be the thing. So C, what can we do with you? Actually, no, that wasn't what we did. Well, that's what I was doing earlier. Sorry, I'm mixing up my ideas. Like, I'm still actually kind of interested in the idea of there is just an E over here, like a small E, not in a weird angle or anything. Maybe at a weird angle, I don't know. No, but at a weird angle, that is the size it would have to be. It can't just fit into that space. Okay, other ways. So I think I ended up doing the C like in the middles, and I don't think that's good. But is there just a small adjustment to that will work? Like if I were to do 1, 2, it'd have to be 3, wouldn't it, to get down here? 1, 2, yeah. Otherwise, that's half done. I don't think I can cover that half with anything. I don't think. So 1, it'd have to be there. It'd have to continue because it's gonna have to be part of some of the shape. Let's go up here, down here. Oh, remind me of the D shape. It's like really hard to remember that. Like I can draw it quickly, but oh well, then I can't actually cover all of that. So in fact, doesn't that tell me something? If I can't cover all of that, also it can't be connected to this. The C needs to be a C. Okay, wait. So that tells me something. So in fact, the C can't leave a thing half. Okay, that's important. The C can't leave a thing half uncovered. So assuming that C must pick up that, which is still an assumption, then it has to cover it. How? It can't go up to there. Well, I mean, just with a normal thing like this. But then I can't fit an E here, I don't think. No, definitely not. So that doesn't work. Oh, this puzzle is so difficult. C. All the ways that would include this. Does it have to include that? It either has to include it or be away from it. I mean, maybe it just stays away from it. Can I get these and this? Isn't this ambiguous now? It's very ambiguous. Well, there's two options. If that counts as very ambiguous. Do I think necessarily that there's not going to be there's not going to be the E here? Like, it does fit super nicely. It's just the other thing doesn't fit. I don't want to go around in circles again on that. And it has to dip down here, so it had to be that shape, and then it only covers half of this. And then we have a problem. So we can't do the D shape over here. I don't think. Pretty certain. I mean, let's do it again, just in case. So, yep, 1, 2. I have to draw them all out, otherwise I feel like I can't visualize it properly. So that's my E shape. And then, well, I mean, that needs to have more. That would need to be covered, 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 and that would need to be covered, and that's not a D shape. No, it's not. It's kind of similar-ish, but not similar enough. But how else can this work? Should we, okay, if we assume that, I mean, it's possible this is just a D shape down here, like, just drawn out in a simple way. Like, could it just be like, but then the C and the E wouldn't work. Yeah. Drawing on myself again. Okay. Oh, this is so complicated. Okay, if we assume, I did this last time. If we assume that this is going to be diagonal and it's not going to be a massive shape, then we know that much is done. And then we know that either, well, of course, like some of these might come from the E or something, or the C, or whatever, something else diagonal. But then we know that, like, I mean, sure, like this, I mean, the C could now go there, but then the E can't go there. If the C was there like that, that could stick up like that. That does fit. Is there some other way of resolving this top right corner? Let's imagine, well, let's not imagine, let's draw it. Let's put in the E here. Or the B. But I can't, where's the E gonna go? That doesn't make sense. Once again, the B can't be done any other way. I'm certain of it. I am so certain of it. That is going up there. And how on earth does the rest of this work? Like, there's all this empty space with the top left as well, which is making me very suspicious. Like, what if I'm just going to do something silly. I'm going to shove in a shape up here on the diagonal. Like, let's use that and that. Should we fill in the whole? Let's fill in the whole grid just in case. This is probably silly. Why am I doing this? How is that getting picked up? I don't get it. I truly do not get it. How are you getting picked up? Not by the B, not by the C. It's just not possible for a square to cover U and U. So by the D or the E. The D can't reach in there. Definitely not. So it's going to have to be the E doing what I've done a million times, or just being up there in a simple orientation. But in that case, it would mean that it's going to have to disambiguate to this. And if that's the case, then, okay, let's go with that again. Basically, my argument there is that this L shape isn't the other way around, because if it were the other way around, then it could be this way around. Whereas if it's this way around, it can't be the other way around, then there's only one solution here. So the C, in this case, what would make it so the other... I mean, I'm not sure there is any position that, other than going middle to middle, but I don't think that's right. Yeah, no, I don't think that's right. I just don't think that's right. What on earth am I missing? Something simple? Like the whole... having the E shape in here, like, feels really good. Because it just fits so perfectly. Can the C... I guess if the... Can the C be diagonal after that point? Let's do that again. I've not done it enough times, clearly. C could be... No, C can't be diagonal at that point. Because it would only cover half the C. So it would have to be that. And then we're back to exactly what we've done 1,000 times. And as we know, we can't do a bigger shape. We can't do a doubly scaled shape, because then a D shape certainly wouldn't fit. Oh, I'm so confused. Is my issue that I keep putting the B in exactly the same place? Like, that is a classic thing. Like, you keep doing the same thing at the beginning, assuming you can't do anything else. B. You need to be covered by a B shape. Oh gosh, my stomach is rumbling. You need to be covered by a B shape. From vertex to vertex. I mean, I guess there's this one. No, it's not long enough. Okay, so that's not one. Using my finger now, apparently. So it can't go that way. If it goes vertically, then it would have to go here. And then that would have to be the C. And then how are we doing the C over there? Going around in circles. If it's going horizontally, then it could go like this. And then that would have to be a C. And then how are we doing the C over there? Okay. Because the B and the C have to come from these. The D and the E can't form any of the other letters. This is too complicated. And diagonally the other way, well, so it can't be too thin. Well, it could be if it went up there, but then it'd be half covering that. So it'd have to be like this. And once again, it put the C up there. That has to be where the B is, right? I'm not wrong about that. That has to be where the B is. And somehow the rest of this is going to work. The C can't grab you. What can grab you? Only the E. I'm just going around in circles. I am just going around in circles. Is there some other way to pick up this with an E? 1, 2, that would go over this corner. 1, 2, 1. I'm so confused. Should I do the next puzzle? Maybe the next puzzle's easier. It's maybe unlikely. A, B, C, D. I mean, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. I'm expecting one of these will have, letters made out of, like regions made out of other letters. This is a pretty small puzzle. A small grid. Huh. C is against the edge. What does that tell me? It must be grid aligned. It must be grid aligned. And it can't extend out this way. So yeah, so C must be exactly that, right? Right, I hope. A. Now there is a diagonal that would work. It would end up covering this partially though, which is bad. Oh, this is terrifying. B, these two B's need to be in a shape together. So isn't that going to have to be the same shape as before, like this? And then if that's the case, is that the case? Then somehow this is because we've done the C and we've done the B. So everything's gonna have to be small sized. I mean, actually, that D could get. Yeah, we could do. What's the shape? So it would be like this, right? That's a D shape. Now, can I get U with an A shape? Obviously not without going diagonally. Can it be a big diagonal? Can it be... So it's got to contain the entirety of U, which is maybe the main issue here. Yeah, all these shapes have to stay separate from each other as well. So they can't have any shared edges. So can you really pick U up? Can you really pick U up? It can't be huge. So then no. Because it would have to be this and that, and then that, and that's only half covered. But it can't leave a thing half covered. Okay. Is there going to be something here where we've got 4 shapes, we've got 4 letters up here and 4 letters down here? Is it somehow possible that no, there has to be 4 separate regions and they have to be the right shape. And if there's 4 separate, yeah, so no, the letters have got to be on each other, like directly. So what else is that? What can that mean then? So the B here, is there some other way of doing that? I mean, I guess it could just be a normal... not really. Are we going to be doing some like weird, like angled stuff? So I think the C is still necessarily true. Because like that still involves only vertices. So I could believe it if that we're doing a weird... I mean, maybe it would work. Maybe it would have worked. Because I think the B's actually can't be done any other way, because otherwise the angle would cut off a little bit of the B. So actually, yeah, let's stick with that. Let's maybe stick with that. Let's think about the A. Is there like a odd angle? Like, Like what? Like what's allowed? I don't know what's allowed. It would have to go through this vertex and this vertex. Well, or at least next to them. Like what if it's like, can I really do anything? Unless, of course, the D can collect that. Is that possible? Oh, gosh. How? Without connecting to these? No. Like, to collect this now, I'd have to do it orthogonally, right? Yeah, anything else would, like, cut through it. Yeah, I have to do it orthogonally. So there's an orthogonal shape that contains this dot. Yes. Mm-hmm. And so it's almost certainly going to be the D shape. Yep. Okay, we're back here again. Are we suggesting there's a way of making that A work? my tone of voice now with this game is just, what? How? What are you saying to me? Is there an odd angle? Well, the problem is whatever we do has to go through there. So like you could think of an odd angle like this, but like that's never going to work, is it? I mean, unless the vertex thing is wrong. I don't know. If we can do middles, what happens? Oh, then we're done. Wait, is that right? No, that has to go off the grid. Okay, yeah. Well, it could come down a step, but then it'd be touching this B region. Gosh, that's so smudged. Oh, I'm gonna end with still not knowing. This is incredibly difficult. Like it would have to be bigger, but I can't see a way. Those B's would have to be like that, right? We need 4 distinct shapes that are all the right shape of this, and yeah, that can't extend any further. Yep. That couldn't extend any further for sure. It'd end up hitting the D over here. And then something's got to go like this. So it's going to be the D. Is the issue that can somehow be drawn differently somehow? No, because as I said, that had to be orthogonal. So there's got to be some way of drawing this A that works. Why? Okay, another weird angle like that. But then it's clearly not covering the A. Also, there's never going to be enough space for that. Okay, So anything like that doesn't make any sense. But then I'm just back at the idea that I can't do it. Oh, it's too difficult. It is possibly too difficult. It's sending me a bit mad. I'm going to be seeing these shapes in my dreams. Ugh. And it's the last one, so it's not going to be this easy, is it? But what on earth else could happen? I mean, what's the trick behind 38? Well, turn that page well. So if I've done one thing well today, it's turning that page. What's going to be the trick here? As I know, what was the clue here? It was something like there's nothing new. There's nothing new here. The hint. There's nothing new here. You need to be... So these are against the edge, so they're going to have to be orthogonal. There's no diagonal stuff here. Diagonal's taught in the next section. You two need to be in E-shaped areas. You need to be covered up and in E-shaped areas. It's not possible. It's just absolutely not possible. What did I do in the previous puzzle? What makes this one so weird? I just did normal stuff. I placed things in, I scaled them up, I put them in, done. Again, ways, so we've got these shapes. And then, how to assemble these into E shapes? Well, that can connect to that. Perfect. That's to make a small e. That requires an A and a C. A plus C equals E. What time is it? All right. A plus C equals E. Alternatively, to make a bigger E, the next size up, the next size up, and they have to be orthogonal because they're against the edge. The next size up is this kind of shape. Take that out of these. I can do it with, once again, an AC makes an E, or I can do an A plus an A plus a C makes an E. Those are the only ways. There is no, let's check the hint again. Spoilers, this is the solutions. Next page. Okay. There is nothing new here. Be very thorough. Follow all trails. There is nothing new here. None of these mean anything to me. Follow all trails. There is nothing new here. There is nothing new here. What do you mean? You mean there's no new rules? Somehow you mean that? But I don't understand how that could be true. Yeah, the problem is I can't make both of these shapes. So sure, it's in theory possible to make two E's if I had an extra A. But I don't have an extra A. And sure, it's also in theory possible to make white space. I keep going back to this idea for a rule. But it's ambiguous because that could be rotated around in many different ways, yes. I don't understand. How? What? These can't be part of the same E shape. And we can't do an offset thing. Even if we tried to do an offset thing, what would even happen? Like, I'm not sure I could hit both of them. No, definitely not. I just don't get it. How can this be possible if there's not a new rule? Or like in new rule, I'm counting like change of rule as well, like a situation where I have to change. Like, I don't think I have to change rule here because it's the end of a chapter. But these can't be the same shape, same E shape. Just not possible. I tried placing it every which way I could. There's always a little gap in it. There can't be an E shape. There can't be the same E shapes, but then I can't make two E shapes. I can't make two E shapes. It is not possible. AAAC. So then what am I missing? What am I missing? I can't make two E shapes. Like somehow I don't have to make an E shape, but I clearly do because there's two E's here. It has to be orthogonal because they're against the edges. And the whole cell, as far as I understand, has to be covered. An E shape would be 6 tall, and that is 6 tall. the nook gets in the way, the little notch. There's nothing new here. What does that mean? That's like a nothing sentence. I mean, it's not a nothing sentence. There is nothing new here. It could mean like white space, like there's nothing, like the white space is new here. Ah, so it's like a white space puzzle. But that doesn't work either. Because it's ambiguous. Right? Because once again I can do like A and C up there. And then, well, no, I can't do it that way. But there was a way. Oh, well, yeah, I did it before, didn't I? Just like a moment ago. Yeah, and you could rotate it. So there's nothing new here. There is nothing new here. Just going to say it in different ways. If we were like doing this and this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not even enough spaces. So it doesn't make sense. I don't understand. I do not understand. I do not understand. It can't be a white space rule because, like, yeah, once again, A. This is not a way I've done it before, but this is also a way. C. So it's not a white space rule. What is the rule then? I can't believe how difficult this puzzle is. I'm actually going mad. There is nothing new here. What do you mean? There must be, otherwise this doesn't work. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Clearly they're going to have to be big in some way, because otherwise there's loads of empty space. I don't understand. I do not understand. I can't make two separate E shapes. I can't make one. It's just an immediate contradiction. It's an immediate contradiction. A large E shape can't go in horizontally, it can only go in vertically. The only place it can go is here, because otherwise it sticks outside the edge. I don't understand. What are we doing? I don't understand. How have I figured out? I think I've figured out that, but I haven't figured out this. There is nothing new here. Is there some other scale I could use, like 1.5? Wouldn't let me join these two things together. There must be some way of getting these two in the same region as each other. But there clearly isn't. Not with that region being an E shape. And that region has to be an E shape. That is the rule, and we're still following that rule in all the next pulls as well. I have to stop. I don't get it. I can only make... Can I somehow use the cutout bits to like lose part of my shape? I mean, if I could, there's like a million ways to solve this, right? What I do is do like A here, lose that bit, A here, C here, and there's like 1,000 million ways I could have done that instead. That could have been there, that could have been there. So not that. I'm done. All right. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how hard this is. Like, I haven't filled in an actual puzzle in 3 videos, 4 videos? How long has it been? I'm pretty sure I know the answers for these, but I don't know how to apply it to this one and to the next one after that. And the fact that the next one leads to like a kind of annoying, like, oh, it's so close situation tells me that I'm on the right lines at least. And it wants me to figure out how to get around that annoying situation. 38, I just don't get it. I just do not get it. It's gonna have to wait though. All right, folks, goodbye.